Hi everybody, I'm Bree the Plant Lady checking in with a late May container garden tour. I've been really busy getting pots redone and everything that I've done is growing really well. So I'm super excited to take you around and then show you a few things that I haven't gotten accomplished yet. As you can see, the coleus side of the live wall is growing really strong. It's already starting to cover. And that's the thing, by the end of the season, you won't see any of those orange boxes. Now, at the base of this is a pansy from the Wave collection that was part of a winter trial. And just want to say it's a really great plant. When I find the label, I'll tell you. I've got more trial plants in these pots here, so I'm not familiar with them. I'm just growing them to see how they do. I don't really like petunias, but I gotta say this one is actually pretty incredible. Agapanthus are about to bloom. I got these pots redone just a few days ago, and you can see I've got rice flanking the doorway. That's black mudras just planted in a garbage can from Dollar General. And well, these are great foodscape pots because they've got tomatoes and peppers and different herbs planted. I've got blueberries here, peppers, basil, actually some delicious looking spinach that I should go ahead and harvest. And today I actually harvested strawberries from this pot. So all really productive and growing really strong. So all the pots along this side of the patio are filled with blueberries, and they're all different cultivars. And you can see some are like just starting to turn, but look over here. I've got like legitimately ripe blueberries. Ooh, these look exceptional. Oh yeah, that's good. I'll have to find a label for that. So overall, the blueberries in pots are doing well. Really good fruit set. You know, I've struggled to get blueberries established in the garden because we had a pH spike from drought conditions a few years ago, and I haven't successfully cultivated tomatoes in the ground here ever since. And I have to show you these succulents. This is actually from the class that I held February of 2025. And this is just one of my favorite combinations of plants, and it thrives out here in the extreme sun. This is another from that class that we did in February of 25. So these are going on 1.5 years old. Haven't done anything, no changing of soil, just letting them grow. And this is another one that I planted last July after visiting Chris Hansen of Garden Solutions, and he sent me home with a whole bunch of really cool succulents, and they've done really well. And this is the one picnic table that stays mostly shady. Well, here on the front porch, I've got sugarcane, and it's growing really, really well. I'm super excited about it. And with that is a Kufia and a Gartenmeister fuchsia, which is a plant that actually does quite well in North Carolina. And then here on the front patio, I did bring up some agapanthus, and it looks like, I can't remember the name. I'll have to find the label. And here on the main patio, I've really kept it much simpler this year. 3 pots with veggie mix as the medium, and then the tower garden that just got planted last week. It is growing. It's you know, always takes like a couple weeks to get established. And of course the agapanthus collection is just about starting to open. So that's really exciting. Well, over here is pot jail. I say that because I'm doing the cattle fence for 2 reasons. To stake tomatoes, very specifically, all these pots have tomatoes in them, and also prevent the deer from nibbling. There was a bench here, but it started to rot, and so I decided for this summer season, I just filled it with containers. It's a hot area, but I have 2 hoses that reach it, so I'm not struggling to keep it watered. At the base is my Orbit yard enforcer, and I need to move this to a different part of the yard, but this helps keep the deer out. You attach it to a hose and it's motion activated. The mom deer had another baby. I just met them yesterday, and the baby is ridiculously cute. But you know, that's gonna make the herd like 16. And it's hard to grow that many plants to feed 16 deer and also satisfy my needs. You guys, I was just talking about the deer, and look at, she's right there. She's right there. She's just like, well, I don't know if that's a girl or not, but just looking at me like, why are you disturbing my peace? You should be inside watching Jeopardy. They're basically like Labradors at this point. Really well-fed Labradors. So I know some of you can appreciate that scene because you live it too. And I just want to say, gardening with deer is not fun at all. And then gardening with deer in a drought is even less motivating. My Lord. You guys, I love these blue pots more than words can describe. And they're all succulents and, you know, a lot of mangaves, which I think mangaves are the best plant that have been introduced in the last 30 years. If you're not growing them, you're missing out. They're amazing. So look, it's not sharp. It's not gonna hurt you. You can have it next to a walkway and no one's gonna slice their leg open. But they don't need to be watered a lot. And I haven't watered over here since before the open garden. So all of these succulents are doing quite well, pretty limited resources. And I especially love Lavender Lady. Unfortunately, I didn't get Lavender Lady in my order, but this is one of my favorite mangaves. And I really like it with the Echeveria combination. But in general, I've just fallen back in love with this area because of the blue pots. And it looks good from every angle. So back here in my work zone, the ginger and turmeric that I've been growing for several years, remember I bought it at the grocery store, I planted it, it grew, I've been overwintering it, it's all starting to break dormancy. So you see here, and I'm super excited because I'm teaching a class this Saturday called Rice, Spice, and Everything Nice. It's at Piedmont Feed and Garden Center in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. And it's focusing on unusual heat-tolerant edibles that can be grown in containers. So specifically, rice, ginger, and turmeric. And I'm actually going to be bringing plants for every attendee to take home to grow for the summer. And everybody's going to create a custom container, which I just love doing these hands-on classes where I teach you the concepts and then you apply them. So I do hope that if you're local and you're available Saturday from 11 to 1, you'll plan to join us. I'm going to put the registration in the description so that, you know, maybe you'll be able to come this Saturday. I'm really excited for it. So I was putting the video together last night and I realized I missed a whole section. I have a lot more containers than I showed. So an update here. These 3 matching pots, they're doing great. Again, this gets a lot of shade and you can see that the tomatoes really, really like not being in full sun. I know, I keep saying it, it's contrary to everything you've ever learned, but in the Southeast, containers in more shade than sun is actually a really good decision. The citrus is doing really well. I've got quite a few limes producing, you can see here. Definitely still have spider mites, you know, and I have been spraying neem oil, and I'm going to be at Piedmont Feed this weekend. I'm going to see if they have any spider mite control that I haven't tried. And then of course all of these succulents, which are still in quite a lot of shade, I could move these out to sun. I just haven't figured out another location that makes sense to have a whole bunch of containers put together. And you know, all of these were repotted last month and they're doing so well. And then of course these other tomato pots, now these ones are in considerably more sun and the tomatoes are much smaller. Now I do have some fruit forming. This is cream sausage. So that is exciting. But look how small this tomato plant is. So these get about 4 hours of direct sun in mid-afternoon, really hot sunshine, and that isn't really the ideal condition for tomatoes in North Carolina. The coleus are doing really well, and the snapdragons are kind of finished for flowering, but I'm gonna do some cutbacks on those, and they'll actually probably rebound. And you know, the container plantings are doing well enough, but compared to those ones over there that are in a lot more shade, the tomatoes there are much healthier. And I have to show you this because I did replant this pot, but I guess I did use the old soil, you know, because there's no reason not to use it. And look at all the zinnias that are coming up in the container. So that's a kind of a fun combination. Did not plant that at all, but having the zinnias grow up through the succulents in this pot is bringing me a bit of joy and happiness, because I don't actually have any zinnias in this border as of right now. Of course, I think that will change soon. And out here on the front patio of the greenhouse, we have a couple of cool things that are going on, but I wanted to start here with the veggie mix. So this is a rice bag, obviously, I just didn't poke holes in it, that I did as a demonstration at the North Carolina Art Museum for the Art in Bloom back in March. And I did it on stage, and well, it's growing really well. I did several containers that day during that demo, including this white pot, and this is looking awesome. And the dill is just knocking me off my block. What can I say? It's beautiful. And then I did this white pot as well. So you can see the white pots were kind of contrasting colors to give people a darker combo and a brighter combo. My favorite thing in this pot is the Lithidora, and that's a perennial, so I can plant that out of the container, which I'll probably do within the next couple of weeks. I'm also going to plant out this Euphorbia, which I like a lot. Same thing with the Carex that is here, and then the Acarus, the variegated Acarus, which is in the back of this pot. Those are going to do much better in the ground, and the other things are annual. So I had to talk about the Poppies and Pots experiment, and as you can see, they're about to bloom. So, you know, that's just a big brown pot. I think it originally had tomatoes in it that I was trying to overwinter in the greenhouse, and it got too cold. So I just direct seeded poppies. And there was a video showing the day I did this. I'll try and find it and drop that link so you can see the comparison. But it's really exciting to show you, like, you don't need a huge yard to grow poppies. Even if you just have a balcony, you could grow them in a container and successfully get them to flower. And that's really what I'm always aiming to show people, is like a simplified approach. You don't have to have massive landscapes of poppies. You can just have a couple of containers at your doors, and it's still really impressive and meaningful. And as you can see, I'm slowly but surely thinning out the amount of plants that are left in the greenhouse. A lot of this is destined for what is currently cottage garden. And so I'm gonna have to try and figure out how to keep those plants alive for another month before the garden space is ready for them to get planted. But in the meantime, I have Saturday's class. I have another class on June 6th that is foodscaping in containers. And I'm gonna cover everything. Everyone's gonna go home with a custom grow bag. I was aiming to show how to create a foodscape in the ground. However, I'm not sure any of the borders are gonna be ready to be cleaned out yet. So I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to deliver on that promise. But I do know it's gonna be great, and everybody who registers can basically take as many plants as they want, because that is the stage that I'm at. So I'm gonna also put the link for that class. That is my last greenhouse class session until the fall. We're gonna do some sip and strolls on evenings in July and August, but I'm not gonna do any more classes just because it's too hot and I don't want to make you hate horticulture. So that will be the end for at least a couple of months, but I am working on my fall schedule and I will post that soon. Well, everybody, I hope this container garden tour will inspire you. As always, thank you so much for watching and happy gardening, everybody.